Yatsuhashi Daichi, one of, if not the strongest character we have seen in the RWBY series so far, at least when it comes to pure physical strength. Comparable characters might be Ironwood and Hazel, but we haven't seen their full potential when it comes to physical strength, minus Semblance and Aura in the series so far, so it's difficult to say who would be stronger or who is the strongest in terms of physical strength. Regardless though, Yatsuhashi holds an incredible amount of power. Case in point in Volume 2, when with a single one-handed swing of his sword, he was able to shatter the ground around him, causing a shockwave strong enough to send Grimm flying backwards. So yeah, this man is quite a bit stronger than the average huntsman or huntress. And this is a fact that he is constantly aware of. He knows that he's stronger than pretty much everyone around him, and should a conflict arise, he has the potential to do some serious harm. So he's really aware of that and is trying to be the stereotypical gentle giant. You know, when we saw him in Volumes 2 and 3, he was very soft-spoken whenever he did speak, and didn't really speak that much at all. Now, you'd think that this would be more to avoid conflict, and it certainly is, but there's also another reason for it. Not only does Yatsuhashi hold incredible physical strength, but his semblance is very troublesome and can be very problematic should it be used in a wrong way. In the book After the Fall, we got a reveal of what Yatsuhashi's semblance is and what exactly it is capable of, and it is honestly a terrifying semblance. Thank God Yatsuhashi's on the good guy's side. His semblance is memory wiping, something that could be used very inappropriately and cause a lot of trouble for a lot of people. Something that villains would use in very useful ways. But Yatsuhashi is more aware of this than anyone. Awakening his semblance, it has caused him problems in the past, and that is something that constantly drives him today. He fears, in some sense, his semblance and his own physical power, but more so his semblance, as it did cause some problems in his childhood. Now, Yatsuhashi awakened his semblance when he was 8 years old. And, you know, when you're an 8-year-old kid and you realize that you have the power to make your parents forget a little thing here and there, well, of course, you'd try to abuse that power a little bit, right? So, of course, Yatsuhashi would maybe make his father forget that he had already given him his allowance this week, so he'd get a second allowance, or maybe use it to get out of doing chores or to get out of homework, things like that. It'd be very useful when you're a kid. And Yatsuhashi soon realized that if there was just a fleeting thought that someone had, he could make them forget it quite easily. But if it was a thought more ingrained in their memory, it'd be a little bit more difficult for them to forget, and they'd remember it a lot easier. Or at least the memories would come back a lot quicker. The general rule that we were given in After the Fall is if he makes someone forget an entire day, then, you know, it would take a full day for that memory to come back type thing. Don't know if that's exactly concrete, but that's the way it was explained. Now, 8-year-old Yatsuhashi was a little bit troublesome, but to his own defense, he did try to tell his parents at times about his semblance. Problem being, since it was a spoken semblance and he didn't have full control over it, the second he would tell them about his semblance, his parents would just forget. So, you know, it's not necessarily his fault, so we may as well put it to some more use. And this lasted a couple of years until his parents decided to have a second child. Yatsuhashi has a little sister named Hiyoko. I'm guessing Yatsuhashi was about 11 or 12 or so when Hiyoko was born, and after she was a couple months old, you know, his parents were probably giving Hiyoko a lot more attention than him, as is the case probably with most families where, you know, especially Yatsuhashi being 11 or 12 can probably take care of himself. Still is, of course, required to do chores around the house, but it's kind of resenting the baby as the parents are paying more attention to the baby. But one day, while his father's at work, his mother's taking care of the baby and is very exhausted and things like that, she asks Yatsuhashi to, you know, clean his room. Something that he hated doing, as, you know, a lot of kids hate to do. So Yatsuhashi was just like, you know what, I just want to go outside and play. Won't take much, just a little nudge to make her forget that. But his mother, very exhausted state, everything like that, Yatsuhashi uses his semblance and she does forget, just, oh, I thought there was something else that I was, you know what, never mind. Go play, Yatsuhashi. And just as Yatsuhashi's about to leave, Of course, the baby starts crying. But his mother's just, wait, is that a baby crying? Why is there a baby crying in the house? And at that point, Yatsuhashi froze. The fear that this boy felt. He was a bit of a troublemaker, but he wasn't a bad kid. He immediately went to his mom. It's just like, that's Hiyoko. That's your daughter, my sister. That's Hiyoko. And his mother just laughed it off, saying, what are you talking about? I don't have a second kid. And Yatsuhashi went and grabbed the baby. He had never picked up the baby before. He had never paid any attention to the baby, and brought the baby over to his mother and saying, this is Hiyoko. His mother was like, oh, when did you start babysitting? The gravity of that situation just continued to sit and sink in with Yatsuhashi. Like, I can't imagine the amount of fear that this kid went through. Luckily, he's a caring kid and a good kid, otherwise someone else might have just taken off and not really cared, but Yatsuhashi did. He didn't go out and play. He stayed home and took care of his sister the entire day. Luckily, by the end of the day, his mother did remember and was completely distraught at forgetting her own daughter's existence. But luckily, once his dad came home and, gave him a good yelling at, Yatsuhashi was able to explain to his parents what his semblance does and what he is capable of. And his father said, you're never to use that again. Like, that is not okay. Luckily, though, after that traumatic experience, his grandfather was able to give him a few words of advice, because Yatsuhashi at this point was in tears saying, I'm a monster. How could I do this? I'm a horrible person. And his grandfather just said one word or one phrase to him. You're only a monster if you choose to be. This is something that can apply to everyone throughout their life and any situation that a person is in. You are what you choose to be. And that's something that has stuck with Yatsuhashi, and he is constantly aware that his semblance has the power to do wrong, but he's using it for good. And he hates using it because he doesn't like messing with people's minds, though in After the Fall he does use it once. Near the end of the book, when he is, and spoilers for the book, by the way, this will spoil a little bit of the plot. I also made another video giving a synopsis of the plot if you want to go watch that first, but near the end of the novel, there's a situation where there are two people that they're fighting. The two huntsmen, Carmen and Bertolac. Now, Carmen has run off with a kid and kidnapped him, and Bertolac is there as well. Now, he had been taken out by Fox, but had just woken up, and Yatsuhashi made him forget the entire past day. So Bertolac was very confused as to why his partner was kidnapping the child, and they started having a scuffle, allowing Team Coffee to get advantage over them and, knock both of them out and capture both of them. So he is able to make people forget an entire day. He's able to make people forget little thoughts here and there. Now, when he made his father forget about giving him his allowance and things like that, I don't know if those little memories returned. As it said in the book, little fleeting thoughts he was able to make people forget very easily. But also, he's able to make someone forget an entire other person's existence. Yes, his mother was very exhausted after caring for the child and being sleep deprived, as I'm guessing most parents are when it comes to a newborn child, but she's been raising this child and caring for it for at least a couple months, and then existence just wiped from a person's memory. If he has that kind of capability when he's like 11 or 12 years old, if he got control over his semblance, which he does now, and he's able to gauge how much he wants people to forget, that Yatsuhashi will just straight up win any fight he's in unless someone has the mental fortitude to resist that. And I don't even know if that's possible. There will probably be semblances that could increase mental fortitude and things like that, but in just a regular fight, Yatsuhashi could just make someone forget the last 5 minutes, make them forget the reason why they are in a fight, or make them forget what they are fighting for, anything, and then, all of a sudden, that gives a hell of an opening for him to just swing his giant sword fulcrum and, shatter the person's bones. And then they're not going to be fighting back anymore. Of course, Yatsuhashi wouldn't straight up kill anyone. At least, I don't think, the entire gentle giant aesthetic, but that still gives him the capability to win any fight and get any advantage, get out of any situation that he so chooses. It is one of the most versatile semblances that exists in the RWBY universe, in my opinion. And should this be used for wrong, let's say someone has the ability to steal semblances, like Mercury's father. If he had the ability to use such semblances and got, Yatsuhashi's memory wiping, well, just go up to RWBY and Oscar, and that's another thing. I don't know if it's able to work on multiple people at the same time. I assume it is, considering he can use it on either parent, and there's no real limitation. I don't know. We still need more explanation on this, but let's say, go back to the example, RWBY and Oscar walking down the street, one of them has the relic hanging from their hips. Well, just make both of them forget exactly what the relic is. And then just walk by, swipe it, and run away. RWBY and Oscar would be like, hey, no, give that back. Wait, why do we have that? Why is this important anymore? And they probably, of course, would try maybe to get it back, but if it's something that they have no idea what it is or don't care about because they forget exactly what it is, they wouldn't try that hard to get it back. Not as much as they would knowing that it's something that could potentially end the world. Yeah. So his semblance, combined also with his incredible power, makes Yatsuhashi a terrifying individual. Again, adding that to Team Coffee's power with the semblances that they already have, the ease of communication that Fox gives them, the versatility and skill of Velvet's semblance, and then Coco's raw power with her aura-enhancing bullets, then Yatsuhashi with his incredible strength and ability to mess with the opponent's minds. This is essentially the perfect team. I don't know how anyone could beat Team Coffee if they were fighting full force, no holds bar. Mercury and Emerald did take advantage of that. Emerald did mess with Coco and Yatsuhashi's mind, but had Yatsuhashi decided to mess with their minds back, had he not been, very conscious of his own semblance and not wanted to use his own semblance, they would have won. I have no doubt about that at all. And the thing is, Team Coffee keeps their semblances very hidden. No one at Shade Academy knows what their semblances are or what they can do. So, that being the case, they're just the stars of wherever they go. They're the stars of Shade Academy now that they're there because they are an incredible team. They are incredibly skilled and very powerful. Now, Yatsuhashi's semblance, how it will evolve, I'm not exactly sure whether he could make someone eventually forget an entire year or turn an adult into a babbling baby because they forget how to, anything that they've learned throughout most of their life. Could he make someone forget how to breathe? Could he make someone forget how to, if he could make people forget those types of things, I honestly doubt that he could make someone forget how to breathe, because that's pretty ingrained in a person's mind, maybe for 5 seconds or so, and then since that is so ingrained, it would come right back. Again, it's still enough to give a person an opening, but it's still just stupidly powerful, not to mention Yatsuhashi's incredible strength. As I've mentioned numerous times throughout this video, he's just stupid strong. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think about Yatsuhashi's semblance, about Team Coffee's dynamic and their semblances as well? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. How do you think his semblance, along with the rest of Team Coffee's semblances, are going to evolve? Do you hope, like I do, that they are going to become a mainstay in the RWBY series once we get to Vacuo? In my opinion, I like them more than Team Sun. Almost more than Team Juniper, so if Pyrrha was there, that'd be very different, but still, what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. I look forward to hearing what you guys think. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe so you can see more videos like this. There's still more videos, of course, coming later this summer, more after the fall stuff. There's still... The next video that's going to be coming out is going to be another mission from Team Coffee's past that has a large effect on Team Coffee in general. So, if you guys want to see that video, make sure to subscribe, and hope you guys like this video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.